I took a shower before the first show, and
Yeah.
I stayed up painting all night last night, and I had paint all over me. And I was too tired to take a shower. I was like, "The hell with it! I'm just going to sleep."
Yeah.
All right,
Sometimes
let's
we do
see.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. Couldn't take. Let's see. Are we live? It says we're live. Yep, we're live. Okay, it's just delayed.
Beautiful.
All right, so got 8 people in the house. Let's give them a couple of minutes. Maryland, Marilyn Biggers is in the house. Ivania down in Tasmania. Marlene Werikawa. Amy Sermon. Diane Odshun.
Oudshorn, I think it is. Oudshorn, is that it?
Udshorn. Yeah, Udshorn. Amanda Lowe's is back. Vera Slater's in the house. Richard Simonite's in the house. Donna Davin, hello. Laura Gill. Another Tasmanian.
Hey.
Mary Cooper. Georgiana Mann. Delia Flores. Whoa. Sarah Hanningen. Alinka Sandu. Amanda Lowe's, I said that. Norma Costello. Allison
Beautiful.
Clausen, Debrielle, Brent Ritchie, Tom Whitebear, Sarai Williams, Michelle Good, Diana Dunn. Okay, they're coming in too fast. 29 people in the house. If these shows resonate with you, please share so we can stay above the algorithms. At Facebook, they're pushing us down a little bit, but we're about to break away, so I think that's going to be all right. Let's see here. Let me just put it through the network or affiliated groups. One more. Here we go. All right. And let's see what else we got. Sandy Seddon Henksky, Kim Atkins, Jackie Schofield, Maria Iverson again from Sweden, Shuzika Charday from New Zealand, Elizabeth Appledore, Holly Vaughn, Katrina Christie Duck, Andrea Antico, Diana Dunn. All right, Spiro Zelios.
You're doing really good with the pronunciations.
I'm getting better.
Oh, yeah.
I've torn up a few here and there. It's good to have you back, Anastacia Kompos. It's very good to have you back. What's been happening?
Well, it's good to be back. Well, what's happening? What are you doing? It's good to be back because I didn't think I would be coming back on as I shared with you last time, but I've been led and guided to come back on in a different way today to bring in a new light paradigm through myself.
Oh, that's exciting.
And it's exciting. It was just beautiful feeling the energies of all those souls coming in. And when you said 29, I'm going, yep, that's number 11. Lots is happening. Lots is happening over a wide range. Okay, I'm just adjusting the frequencies.
Yeah.
Of everyone coming in. We had some very exciting new energy come in. Michael Love, I just wrote a post this morning about this. The number 333 has been coming in again really strong lately. Like we all see numbers, but 333 has come in over and over and over again just recently. And also recently, the update. Did you get to read it from Michael Love about the Atlantis commanders arrived?
Michael Love. Love. That name rings a bell. But I think he blocked me a long time ago. So I don't really know if that's the same Michael Love. I don't know. But yeah, go ahead and read it.
I don't know either if it is. All I know is there was a Michael Love in the past that some of the energies that were coming through, I was resonating to some and not the other. And I just wrote about this on the Blue Beyond Guide, messaging with someone that always in love and peace, that we either resonate to something or we don't. Simple as that. Always come from a loving space. Yet this Michael Love, and I believe it may be the same, because, you know, we're all growing and changing too, us that channel.
I agree. This was years ago. And
yeah, that's exactly right. We've all got lessons to learn.
Yeah. I'm looking at a post here from 2015.
Yeah.
And I I was sharing this post. I don't know what
Beautiful.
happened. It doesn't matter.
No.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Energies in life happened, eh?
That's right. That's exactly right. So tell us about it.
I will. I won't read it all out. I've did a post this morning and shared the link. When I read something, I always go, like everyone, we go by, I can only say for me, I go by my inner guidance to what resonates and to what doesn't. When spirit gives me messages being in 7D, because I'm actually in 7D energies, I've already been in 5D for 13 years, which a lot of people find that a bit of a hard concept, but I'm living in true unconditional love, 5D Christ energy. And that's how I'm able to guide and share what I do. Been in so long for myself, working through the emotions as a trailblazer, to be able to guide other masters to come into their mastership, for them to come home to themselves and to love themselves unconditionally. And in the human through the emotions, Todd, is a whole different other level. It's new for us. We haven't arrived here in this space like this before.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of and there's no room for negative ego. It's always coming from total unconditional love, and anything that people come up or feel or say that's from an ego negative base is all a mirror for their stuff, so to speak, which a lot of people get used to it, you know. And just give me a second. There's a big shift coming in right now.
I agree.
Because you're included in this. There's a big, I have to say it. I didn't know what I was going to say today because I've already done a big healing with you. I actually did a bit of healing all night and all this morning with you, darling.
With
And
me.
yeah, yeah. So, because I'm here to support other masters and it comes straight from the divine. So it's your private sacred space and whatever is going on for you that quite often lately we're not meant to know. And I just get, you know, being a pure divine light vessel, living in total unconditional love, I go where I'm guided in service to Gaia and humanity, living this 24/7 like this. There's no weekends for me each day, and others will probably relate. It's just I've got to fit into the linear time, you know, I just go with the flow. So it just came in for you in service to what you're doing in videoing and speaking to so many people. It's
Yeah.
giving back to you. It's giving back to you, you know, from one master to another in service.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And for all the love and the blessings you give in connecting and communicating with so many people and what you're doing. Because I truly feel what you're doing with others and what you're doing. It's a really big role to live doing what you're doing.
I don't know what to say to that. Thank you.
Just feel it. Feel the
Yeah.
love.
Just feel it. That's it. Right. Feel it. And I'm with you too. You know, this whole finger pointing, guilt trips, blaming, shaming, projection. It's no longer suitable. It no longer serves us. It's we're better than that. And whether
So much
somebody,
better. Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, I was
Oh,
just
we
gonna
were
say,
just... Mhm.
no, because
You
I want to
go.
go.
You go.
I just want to go back to that Michael Love thing. You know, I remember and I'm not bringing this up because of Michael Love. I do want to just say,
It is coming
uh,
through to talk about this. Yeah, I was
yeah,
surprised it's
that
steering this way.
you
Yeah.
know, this was back 3 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We were all fresh. We were all fresh, freshly indoctrinated at the time, and it had something to do with something. I don't remember. I don't know him personally. I've never talked to him, but whatever it is, what's the Hopoponono?
Yeah.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. Thank you. Or however it goes. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. But I wanted to reiterate too that we're all we're all coming from the same place, man. We've all been through the same thing. The illusion was the illusion. No one's to blame. There's no blame. There's not even anything to forgive. We're at a level now
Yeah, but
where
darling, it's about growing into that, darling, in the human being,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
um, which is really new for us. In Let me share another facet of a lot of what beautiful souls and masters are sharing, and people are tuning into and sharing of what's happening in spirit. And a lot of the terms and the words that people use, I'm going to confess something here. I don't actually understand myself.
Oh yeah.
And the more I'm speaking openly about this, a lot of people are saying, oh, thank you for saying that. And I'm not afraid to admit it and say it, that, and there's no fear and there's no afraid. Yet this is a big thing for me to say this and come out and say that a lot of the big words that spiritual people use, I do not understand in the human. I know energy, resonance, vibration, and personal messages and guidance, lessons and learning straight from source and spirit. So when somebody writes something, and I know a lot of people struggle a bit with this. So if I can give this beautiful message and say to them, don't worry if you don't understand all those words. When you guide it, I then go and research, like Michael has written here, incredible central race plasma craft prepare to send a new multidimensional version of 5D 40 hertz plasma light. And I can go look up, what does 40 hertz plasma mean? I mightn't understand that. And then when I read it, I go, oh, I know what that means, because I get my messages direct from spirit. So a lot of people can get very confused and muddled in staying in the spirit only with a lot of terms. But when we get into the realness of the human being, a lot of people are wanting more realness. And I come from a very real place, and I'm really down to earth, really Aussie. Yet,
Yes.
I'm not sure why that bit just came to share. Have you got something to say on that? That just, boom, that just came out. Is there anything you want to say on that?
No. No. No, I'm good. But
So,
I thought you were still going, but in regard to what you said, I totally get that. Like even if they're not big words, I see it on the show all the time. I see it. It's the intention of the heart.
of course.
That is the channel. That is what brings forth the source
And
expressions. Or
what we're missing now is the lower bit, which is the bit below the iceberg now, which I'm currently bringing through as Spirit said, I am the new light paradigm. And that's what I am is bringing through. And it came from going to the Cosmic Consciousness Conference, the Triple C, at Uluru, where I can assure you we broke through the dark paradigm. And I did it while up on stage. And it
wow.
shattered my aura and my energy. And I've been working on that since then. And then there was an article that other people around the world had meditations, and they, at that exact time, that exact date that I actually went through that personally in the human being and the solar plexus of the world, there were other groups that wrote and said, we have finally broke through. And I went, yes, I can validate that. Absolutely. I was part of that with them where they were in the world. We have broken through. Yet I will say that the humanity, the spiritual, in say our spiritual society, can I say, there are different groups there are still souls working on their duality of the negative ego, the shadow, and the light. They're still in the duality, and that's okay. But what's happening is a lot of us that have broken through that for ourselves are starting to shift off. And they're having to say bye-bye to a lot of groups and to a lot of people that are still working on what they are in duality. That is very huge across the planet.
I get that. I was just talking to I think the last two shows we talked about it. There's some I mean you gotta walk away sometimes. I mean there's what we were saying in the last show. We were saying if you're in an environment that's that type of environment, be it work, home, the people you interact with every day, friends, family, spouses, children, whatever, the universe is not going to support you being in that environment anymore. It's going to spit you out. You know?
Well, yes, it depends. Yeah, you're right. Yes and no too. Also with that, because sometimes we need to remain and be in that environment until we have completed in shifting out of that duality, dark energy of the old for ourselves, and we need to remain because there's soul contracts here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
so
point.
until that soul contract has completed, because we are helping them and they are helping us, and
True.
it's until we grow enough and reach a point where I wrote about this recently. It's like, and my twin flame, David Karanakita, which hopefully he will come on with you soon because he's an amazing,
I hope so.
he's my
Where's
divine
he?
twin flame in the
Where's
UK,
he at?
yeah. In
He's
the
in the UK.
UK,
Man, you
yeah.
guys got some distance between you. You got more than one in that house.
Yeah, look, as we both realised, it was a few years ago, it was amazing how it happened because I've done a lot of research and personal experience with partnerships and twin flames and what I call a twin flame energy resonance, and I really went into it very deeply 1 or 2 years ago, and I no longer go into that anymore, only on a one-by-one basis, because so many people are looking and searching. It's stop, let go, come
Yeah.
into you, into the I am. It will just come when you least expect it. And that's the longing and the searching, because there's a missing part of themselves and, you know, all that. They're looking to fill it with that twin flame. It's actually not like that. And for us, in when I shared an explanation about divine twin flames, because they're actually quite rare, they're not as rare nowadays, but they are rare. The actual divine twin flame. There's a big difference, and like I said, I won't go into that. I have written about that before. It can be found on the Blue Beyond Guide, or people can email me or contact me if they want another copy of that. It was a very long article that was beautiful. Just give me a second. There's another shift coming through with this. You're linked in with that. I just felt you. Thank you. We're putting out a lot of healing for humanity today, you and I together. Boom. So anyway, I'm shifting that. So that healing's going on while we're talking. Because I've got two souls, I can do up to 4 healings in one time, because I've been going for 24 years now. So what might take others days, weeks, months, or years, I do like that so quick. It's just beautiful. It's very surreal at times, but it's just beautiful. So I like to explain to people, say they know when I drift off, I'm doing a whole other level of healing. And so then I'll come back to here and that healing's still going. Okay? So we know that if we were together, it would be like 2 supernovas exploding. The distance was very needed, is very needed for us. And that was one of the articles that I shared about, wrote about that. Quite often they're on other sides of the world, you know. So, okay, another shift's coming in. We drifted and digressed, but we went where we were led.
That sounds like poetry. Linda,
But it's the dance. It's the shaman dance of the energy. You just go where the divine flows, and you know, it's like, whew, what were we talking about again?
so Linda Dinkelman says, can you explain twin flame? Are they here, or do they not incarnate with us in the same lifetime?
Yes and no. Some do, some don't. From my observings and my deep intuition, that's all I can go off. Well, there's a lot of what I've learnt directly that's not written in books, and I don't have the time, so to speak, to stop and write them, because I've got to keep moving, pushing through. So yes and no. Some know their twin flames aren't here. They've had them in the lifetime and they've passed over and they've still got a link. Now that's an interesting one. There's a few souls that I've met where I don't tell anyone who their twin flame is. I feel and get it all, but it's not for me to say. It's for them to experience. If I'm talking to someone and the divine lets me know to let them know, that's when I'll tell them. And I'll share with them and I'll say, I'm getting, that is your twin flame. And they go, thank you, I knew it. I just needed that validation from source. Because I don't have a personal opinion with that. It's not I don't know enough. And that's where it comes from. So yes and no.
Yeah.
Both. It's both.
Kathy Mason says, I think you talked about this on the last show, but she says, how do you have 2 souls? Yeah, I think you went through it again.
I'll show it briefly. I just shared a radio interview from Larry Locken and I back 3 years ago, which feels like 30 years ago. I've grown a lot since then. Yet I'm consistent in what is my real truth. So there's a lot in there that speaks about having the two souls, which I just shared that on the Blue Beyond Guide. If they want to re-listen to that, it was, even I got a healing re-listening to it the other
That's
day. It's incredible.
Blue Beyond
Beyond Guide.
Yeah, .com. Right?
And on Facebook the same. So
Okay.
I faced a near-death experience. I've faced up to 17 times checking out. And like many of you, a lot of miracles. And one of those times Jesus came to me with a rainbow in his palm to mine, and he gives you have your spiritual soul now. Now, as an Ascension Pioneer and Trailblazer, I have to find information for myself because what I'm bringing through to humanity is new. It has never been brought through before, okay? So that I'm a way see. I see ahead for the rest of the humanity in linking our spirit to our soul. Anyway, so I had to look it up, and spirit brings me, I'll read something, it'll bring me a line from this website, a line, it glows to me. That's how I get my messages. And from the ancient Kabbalah text, it says you get your spiritual soul when you die. That's when we normally get our second soul. And then there was an ancient Buddhist text as well that supported it, that I was gifted it on this side of the fence while I'm still alive. So what happened was for 3 months, I could see everything up above, like 2 TV screens. I could see and pick up everything in the human, what was going on for someone. And also up in their higher self as well. And it took me 3 months to get used to, because that could send you nuts. There's many shamans in psych wards, isn't there?
Absolutely.
So then
And
it was...
quite a few of us in this crowd have been classified in that. I can promise you that.
I can promise you that. I can promise you that one as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I can see all the seen and the unseen up there, because part of my role and mission here is to help penetrate the dark forces. They were the exact words from above. So I can see both. So when I say is a double master, and I have spirit is like, no, you're a double master. You're a double master. Okay, so that's very briefly.
No. Yeah, you talked about it last time. She asked, so I thought we'd go ahead and
Beautiful.
go with it.
I
Now,
sort of told us something, but
somebody else made a comment. Sarah Hannigan, she said, so much more got broken through at Uluru. So much more. So
what was
that
the
must
surname?
have been Hannigan. She must have been there. Sarah Hannigan.
I'd have to
So
see your
that must
face. Sorry,
that
Sarah,
must
if I met you and I don't remember you, darling, at the moment.
that must have been an amazing conference.
It was amazing. I can only say, I'm not sure what Sarah's talking about. I can only say for me, in what it was for me, that, and each person will say what it is for them, because many on the video from the conference, a lot of people spoke and said how amazing it was for them. It was life-changing, life breakthrough. So there was a lot of souls. And as the caretaker for the whole conference, energetically, which I was very blessed to be asked by the organisers, and because we each have our roles, what we bring in through in humanity, that there was a lot of breakthroughs, a lot of healing. I know I was personally involved outside with at least half a dozen life-changing breakthrough healings outside. So I can only say for me, yes, it was an exceptional conference, and it was clearing through with a new light paradigm for them to continue on further for what they're doing for Australian humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's moving fast. It's growing like wildfire. Especially now, January was a pretty interesting month. That's when the conference was.
Yeah.
February was I can't even remember. It's funny how I remember these, but February was no, it was March, right? March was the one that was a big one.
Well,
That was a
I actually wrote a post the other day that March was life changed as we knew it from March.
yeah.
Life absolutely changed. A lot of people, I was starting to feel an inner bliss. Now, quite often what I feel, linking my spirit to my soul with a direct link with source, which is what I'm here to guide other souls to do, because I have a lot of people. I will reply. I just need to get through sharing this first. A lot of people come to me and say, I'm having difficulty connecting with my higher self. So there's a lot of difficulty with a lot of people in linking their spirit to their soul, quite often because the head kicks in and it blocks, and all different reasons individually, but it seems to be coming up more and more. Okay, there's an energy coming in with this too. We're shifting and digressing with this one. It's a doozy. Grounding energies in. I just got a vision, and because in 7D it's visions, because there's no words. It starts at 6D. When you've been in 5D and you raise your vibration, you send further. In 6D and beyond, because 7D is the highest vibration you can reach in the human embodiment, it's visions and stories and pictures, and it's, I love the stories and the pictures that I'll be given to relay information.
What did
I
you
just
get?
I just got everyone that's listening in a round circle, and everyone is putting their energy in. It's like going into the center of the earth. Everyone that's joined in, and it's incredible. And this will keep going for any others that watch this. Their energy will join in. I knew today was going to be big and special for me to come on, Todd. I knew we were going to break through something. We were actually really going into the center core of the earth. It's going in like that. Everybody's energy is pouring in. It's beautiful. So March was a game changer. And then I started feeling these blissful, excited inner energy. And a lot have said they can relate since then. And it's not like I didn't know what to do with it, but I know I didn't want to give it out. I knew I wanted to keep it in. And some people that were feeling it too were giving it out sort of like a water spout from the head. And the direction came, no, bring it into you, channel it into your inner organs, heal your body, bring it into your chakras, keep that blissful energy to recharge yourself, to glow from the inner out. Because we each need to be in our alone spaces right now as well, Todd.
That's right.
And that March was a big game changer, but more than we ever have before.
Yeah.
And this has been the... Thank you. That's good that you resonated to that. You can feel it for yourself.
Absolutely. I've been doing that. Morgan left March 3rd, and it was divine order. You know, she needed space, I needed space, and you know, it's just but that wasn't about us. It's just what's been happening. A lot of people have been doing that. Jennifer Peters just says, yes, I've been hibernating for 2 weeks. You know?
Yeah, a lot of people know. They're already doing it. And it's wonderful because we're all moving together. And it's good for me to hear things that I've gone through and experienced myself for so long alone, for so long. Humanity and others have grown, and we're all coming out more and sharing. It's just we're gathering. We're gathering. The gathering is happening, Todd. We're all gathering.
Oh, yeah.
We've got work to do on ourselves and growing into the master and the human. Let's do a loop back when I was talking about all that spiritual info, is that a lot of people are looking for in the human being and the realness of words in the human, and the ones that are working through their emotions and being more conscious in the human embodiment, in mastering in our body with our emotions and voicing, they're the ones that are finding the ones that are yet at what I call their base camp, still working through working through. We are going further up in the mountain to a new base camp for ourselves. Because back to what my twin flame said, picture a mountain. You got a group of people at one base camp, right? So pick a particular area, they're working on themselves and their emotions. If you've already worked on that area for yourself, in your soul's personal journey, you'll go up the mountain to your next base camp. And the biggest message here, what a lot of people are having difficulty with, because I already did a Skype healing this morning and wrote an update before we've spoken. That's a normal day here. Is a lot of people have got someone very close to them who are still working on the emotions that haven't fully transmuted their duality, and they're right where they need to be.
Yeah.
And if that person that has for themselves goes back into that base camp to want to pull that person out, what it is being detrimental to someone's health. We're not going to raise their vibration by doing that. And they needed to know this consciously. And I was given, it's like putting your hand in a mud pit and they're in it and you're trying to pull them out. Well, that mud's going up in your arm and it's affecting you and it's actually pulling you down. Not that they're lower than you, right? There's no lower.
It's not about that.
So,
yeah, you're right.
and it's a big thing about letting go consciously of others is so huge. I just did it hugely with someone that is still shifting that duality for themselves, that turned on me recently, and it was really hard because I didn't want to admit or own or accept that that's where they were at. And that's the biggest one, is accepting it in the human being and letting go. We love them in here, we miss them, but there's nothing we can do because we've got to stay in our alone spaces to do what we need to do. That line, it wasn't really a line drawn, but the March energies clearly brought that in very, very strongly in a whole new way than ever before.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like they're in that mud puddle or whatever it is. And you know, I know it sounds harsh and cold, but you walk away. You walk the direction they're headed, and sometimes they're going to be in front of you and sometimes they're going to be behind you, you know, because as soon as you think you're at a certain level, could pull somebody up, or at a higher level, you're going to be in the mud puddle and somebody's going to be looking at you. You know, I mean, it's
well, it's getting out of the thinking and into the feeling, and shifting when we say the word I think. And I quite often say to people, shift that one word to I feel. It will get out of the head. A lot of people get caught up in there. Yeah, really, really vitally important. Something else is coming through.
Yeah, I've caught myself with that recently too. I'll say think, and I want to say no. I'm like, I don't think, but then I don't want to say no because it's like too extreme. So I'm like, I think no.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Shift it from I think to I feel. That's it. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Shifts the vibration instantly. Yeah.
Yeah. Good word.
Okay, healing process is going in with that one. Also, what has also come up with our alone spaces in needing to be in our own spaces and not actually able to be close to anyone emotionally at the moment. It's taken me a few years to do this, but recently with every single soul close to me, my closest spiritual sisters, even my own mother, my son, my partner, to be in this alone space. What it is now is childhood abuse and trauma that we were not ready and able to face yet. And that alone feeling of what occurred back then is now at the forefront.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Give me a second. I'm rewording it.
Okay.
A lot of people have had abuse and trauma. It doesn't need to be sexual. It can be emotional. It can be verbal. And when we were younger, we were very alone in that time. And we brought in different modalities and ways to cope with that. Okay? Depends what that was for each person. So now everything's been stripped away, that those that have not been fully able to face that trauma from back then, it's up. And I've written a post about that. It has come up for us to re-feel of what it's like to be alone. There's difference between alone and loneliness, and I read another update on this as well. So a lot of people are finding they're really struggling in the alone. You may be okay, I may be okay, but there's other beautiful souls, darling, that are in their base camp that haven't yet been able to fully heal, deal, or face that aloneness. Well, that is out now. It's open. And a lot of people are dealing and facing with that, and they're struggling with it. And I send them so much love. They'll get there for themselves, you know. Yeah.
Now, I wonder if that includes, because one thing I've seen very recently, even today, is how people that have been doing what you're doing for a long, long time, 15, 20 years, and I love it because that humanness comes out in them, and they say, you know, I was on my knees a week ago, you know, at wit's end with the universe. I got hit with these energies yesterday. I woke up this morning in fear, is what Marianne told us on the last show. Do you think that some of the stuff that's coming up, for instance, might be in a category, let's say it is abuse of some sort, where we've cleared a lot of this stuff in our shadow work over the years? We've cleared it, but there's still some there that we weren't aware of?
Absolutely. Because it's past life that's coming through to, and this is what I've written next. It's to do with it's linked to our first incarnation. This is how far back it's going to at the moment. I can't explain to you any more than just those words. This goes back to first incarnation for whatever that is. And that's just enough for me. I don't need to, what does first incarnation mean? I'm not going to go into that. The words are.
Yeah.
And then when I let people know that, all of a sudden they just did what you did. Oh, and something releases and they get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty big.
What you said means going back to the first incarnation and everything up to this point. Like it's the whole thing. Like one of the ladies this morning said, everything's been erased. Susan Marie said everything's been swiped clean. It's all clean. And it's just like you were saying earlier, it's like trying to get used to it, trying to first we got to be aware of it. In the old part of our journey, we had to be aware of what we weren't aware of in terms of our behavior, our patterns, that type of thing. What we were blind to, our shadows, and now it's like gaining an awareness to our
hang on.
divinity.
This white clean bit, okay. It's not for people, and I'm not saying this beautiful lady said it was either. I'm just saying that it's not to say it's all been wiped clean and done for you. There's nothing else to do. It's not saying that. Huh? Oh well, I haven't read.
Well,
because
let me restate it. No, what she was saying was that it's wiped clean, and it's just now. It's there. It's available. It's available. Like when they say energies come down and this particular thing is available, it's there.
Yes,
it's there, but
I agree.
You still have to make it happen.
I agree totally. Beautiful. Now I fully understand what you mean. Mm-hmm. Yes, the energies. It was like a wiping of slate, and even with Michael Love's post here, it says the removal of all 3D toxins from your layered bodies. All 3D, 4D trauma energies are being, the plasma wave will be cleansing that, removing all negative situation and beings. It is, but it's not as simple as just those words, boom.
Mm-mm.
As she said, there's more to do. We're ascending in the human embodiment as new ascending earth masters. This is new. This is very, very new. There will still be things that come up. And when one lives in 5D, what I call a total Christ consciousness, unconditional love, is what I say 5D is. For me, let's keep it simple. You don't have fear. Mm-mm. It's full and complete trust, 24/7, no matter what happens. I still have testing times, but I handle it so much different. Mm-hmm. I can go through one of the most testing times, and I can still do 3 or 4 healings. You get to that level where you can cope and manage with things a lot better. And then we have personal situations that comes up that we need to work on. It's ongoing. You know how it goes, darling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know how it goes.
But I like what you said about the thing about the no fear. Because I'm finding for myself, anyway, over the last, I've been here since October 28th, whatever that is, 6 months now. God. And it's like the less, I know it sounds cliche, but the less fear I have, the more magic and alignment that comes in. And I mean, it's all day long, every single day. It's crazy. 70 viewers, 70 reactions, 70. Today it was 13. It's constantly, I'm constantly being shown.
Absolutely. That's living in the flow. Everything is and this is simple and cliche, whatever as well, but it's true because I'm amazed every single day. So many moments, there are messages and signs everywhere, from the number plate in front of you to an ant walking on the ground for patience. Everywhere you look, you could just sit there, signs. If we stop take a breath, pay attention, listen, get rid of the fear, because the fear is what the negative latch onto.
Mm-hmm.
And hand that fear over. Hand it over. You know, easier said than done. I understand that. But it's, at the same time, it's taking that, you know, it's like looking at an abyss, and there's got one side and a big abyss, another side. You leap off the edge, let your angel wings fly out, and know that you'll be carried to the other side, because
Yeah.
you will be. And call on the extra help of the new Atlantic's command energies of the Pleiadians and the Indara crystal healing. Call on it. That was the post I just wrote this morning. Call on it. It really is here, Todd. I'm so excited because I can really now feel it. I've read so many things over like 24 years, and I'll resonate to bits, but I'm just solely guided with the divine as a Trailblazer, Ascension Pioneer, and Way Shower. No one else. I've got to get it straight from source and bring in new things that haven't been worded or verbalized in my, what did someone say? You write uniquely or something and don't change, because I understand it. Because I don't have big, posh, flowery words, Todd. I'll just, you know, what the fuck? You know, lighten the fuck up was one of my, well, that was one of my posts a couple of years ago. But then I go, did I really write that? Yes, you did. Okay, it's all good. You know, lighten up. Lighten
Yeah.
up, laugh, lighten up. See the humor of it all, in a sense. Just
Chill
because it's
out, man.
nuts. Oh,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah. And the
Yeah.
more you grow, yeah.
That's a big one, Anastacia. That's a big one. That's one. I was very, I was an alpha male. I came out of that, went into awakening, but I still had that, got to go to work, got to go to work, got to go, and that pressure, that
Yeah.
self-imposed pressure. But I really started chilling out, man, since I've been here, and I've noticed it with other people. I feel like telling them, I do, and I try not to. I'm like, man, you just need to chill out, man.
I just
You
say
know?
put the stick down. Put the stick down. Stop beating
Yeah,
yourself. Put the stick down. Give
yeah,
it a rest. And people
yeah,
get that when you say that.
yeah. And I think we're all snapping to it quicker now too. In fairness to us all, that's what I mean. Nobody's guilty. Nobody, has. I mean, we all went through the same thing. We all went to sleep. We all were under the illusion. We all had ancestral stuff that we carried with us. I mean, it's time to be good to ourselves and good
Number
to each
one.
other. Yeah.
Number one is good to, of course, be good to each other, absolutely, which is a reflection on the inner, that if you be good to yourself and start learning to love and honour, and it takes time, Todd, though. It does take time, okay? And that's okay to grow into loving yourself unconditionally, to relearning and unlearning of the old, and especially the ones dealing with a lot of childhood abuse and trauma. This is very huge for them still. And coming home to ourselves and loving ourselves and being grounded with your spiritual information into your emotions. Look, can I say that if you don't ground into the human being, how can you ascend further? You can't just only do it in spirit only. You've got to come in.
Mm-mm.
And there's so many spiritual beings that have been led for divine healings lately that are amazing masters in what they get. And it's just passing on the tools that I've learned over 24 years that I had to form and create myself with spirit. And all I do is pass on those tools, and they're getting it so quick, Todd. It's so exciting.
That is exciting, and I've
They're
heard
getting
quite a
it.
yeah, I've
It's
heard quite a
wonderful.
few healers say that. I've heard quite a few of them say that. That people are, like who was it the other day said that they come in once, they come in twice, that's it, they're gone, they never come back. They don't need to, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Whew.
So, so it's picking up. There's no doubt about that. You going to be doing any more conferences anytime soon?
I go as guided, and mainly to work with the duality energies and protecting and clearing. I've just done another business, has got a spiritual purpose with helping humanity in bringing something new in. So I've just done a stint with them. I do so much behind the scenes. There's a Blu-ray one. I do a lot behind the scenes, and that's why it was really big for me to talk to you for the second time, because this is a big breakthrough today. It's a whole different feel for me than the last time we
Mm-hmm.
spoke.
I know I had to pull your teeth to get you on last time.
Leave my teeth alone, thanks. I got all my teeth.
Yeah.
No
Mm.
fillings. I got beautiful teeth.
And so, like, I mean, as this thing's moving faster, I mean, God, you know, I can't even describe what's happening. I can see it, like you said. You can see it. You can visualize it. You can feel it.
Mm.
You can watch it. You know, but it just seems like we're being really nailed down to look at our own
Mm-hmm.
stuff. You know, really, just look at your own stuff. You know, period. I mean,
Yes.
everything is everything is yours. Every single thing. Nothing. It can be externalized. Nothing. You know, it's just
No.
like it's getting louder and louder to the point where it's almost kind of scary. But what I am seeing in myself and
Why
others
is it
is that,
scary? Why is it scary?
well, because it's so, what is the word? I don't, it's beyond intense. It's
Mm.
formidable. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had one the other day. I had an experience, a dimensional experience or whatever. And it was like the third or fourth time in 7 years, I got a little bit freaked out. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is like some powerful stuff coming in. It's like serious. But what I was going to say about that is that I'm watching people shift like that. Like you see
Oh,
them like, oh my God, they're spinning out. Oh my God, then
yes,
boom, they're
yes.
good.
I,
And then they
I can
just,
personally, I can personally vouch for that as well. I've got a private group that I'm guided who to ask into a private New Light Paradigm group of masters ascending that come from unconditional love, and there's full trust in there. And I'm seeing so many of them that have been dealing, a lot of people are dealing with addictions. They're breaking out
mm,
of addictions they've had for a long time. They're breaking out of mental spaces of what's called mental illness, of not being understood, the energies, their growth, and now the energies, and they're just like, oh, wow. And they're just coming out of that now and believing in themselves. And the changes is remarkable, especially if you've known someone for a few years and you can remember when they were spinning out, flipping out, spinning out.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then now they're grasping it. It's a relief. Rejoice. Hallelujah. It's a relief to see
yeah,
these souls making it through as like an elder, you know, it is just bliss. It's
yeah.
just bliss.
And then you see like to me, it's like yeah, I think we were talking about it earlier, but it's like the deepest recesses, the deepest
Mm-hmm.
shadow pieces, or
Mm-hmm.
the deepest hidden memories, or whatever, will be it this life or ancestral. They're coming up.
And that's what I was
Yeah,
talking about, the childhood trauma.
yeah,
It's linked to that childhood trauma, the energy, it's been exposed. I did write a post in March. I wrote many in March that was so long and deep and heavy that not many people, because they were going through so much, were able to go into it at that time, which people can always go into it. It's linked to that exposure of that childhood
yeah.
trauma, darling.
That makes
That's why,
sense.
and you're right, and it is. Yeah, it's linked
Makes
in with what you're
sense.
saying. Cool.
And it feels to me like, you know, it feels to me like it's not just this incarnation. It's it's like the childhood trauma from the whole kit and caboodle, you know, all of it.
Going back to first incarnation.
Yeah.
Going
Makes me
back to
wonder.
first
It makes
incarnation.
me wonder if that wasn't a big part of the programming or deprogramming or traumatization. I mean, like if it was something that was planned out, premeditated, or whatever, that was the primary vehicle. Was that you know, to get at the soul, the human soul, early in that incarnation. Yeah, because it's a
Well,
big deal.
it's a very big deal, and
And I think a
because at
lot
the
of men,
moment,
a lot of men are stepping up. Or I say a lot. There's a many men that are starting to step up and talk about this type of stuff, their own experiences and memories with molestation.
yes, I agree. I agree with you there.
Screen just went black. It's
Oh, I'm
back.
still here. Oh, it's back. Interesting how that just happens.
I know, man. And you're about to disappear. You've got like all this stuff going on. It's like pixelated.
All
So I
right,
don't
I'll
know if
leave
you
it.
want to if you want to. It's up to you. But before we go away, I want to. If you want to do anything, if you want to do, if you got anything in the intel you want to pass on for the moment, or any type of healing or activation or anything that you'd like to do.
This has all been a healing and an activation. And what I've said with you today was going to be put into a post. So today, what we spoke about would have been a usual post covering some things. So it's all been done right now. And it's finishing. I can feel it. When the screen went blank and the pixelation, I felt the whole energy. So we're done. We're done, darling.
I see a lot of
Listen,
rainbow.
lots of love to you and everyone. Good, because Michael says about the rainbow.
I'm seeing a lot of rainbow energy right now. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you so much. Let's do it again soon.
Well, yeah, we might be, because I'm getting the tap on the shoulder that we might be doing this again soon. So
yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. All right. You take care.
Love you. Thanks. And love to everybody else. Thank you for joining.
All right. We'll see you later.
Darling.
Take care, everybody.